What's up, everybody? What it do? This is a Chi-Fi Theory, and I got a message for you. I am a mental alchemist, and I use the cards to do what it do. So basically, this is the Zin-Finity Board, and let's get straight to it. So I have a little bit of a message, and you've probably seen it in the description, and it says, it's just talking about illusions. That was the only word that came up, illusions. So, what kind of illusions do you live by? Meaning, what falsehoods were taught to you that you live by now that you think is the right way to go, but this actually putting you further back. So what is that to you? Now, people are involved here. Why? Because these are the people who taught you these things. Now, you might think that it's the best for you because you see where they are with that information. Now, look at them really quickly. And look at the people that's around you in your job. The people that are older. Let's just say that you want money in that job that you're at. Let's just say you want a promotion. Let's just say you're in line for one, right? What's being traded for? Your time? Or are you getting just more money, right? Is it a better type of work? But at the end of the day, when you look at these people that are above you, right? You know, the people that, you know, kind of talk down to you when they want to. Those people. That's gonna be you. So do you like who they are as a person, or do you see yourself in a different place? Now this goes for the workplace, and this goes for the relationship, because as you hang out with people, your energy is intertwined with that person for a very long time, and you start becoming each other. It's just what it is, because my spirit is telling me something in my aura. Now this person is in my aura, and my spirit is telling them something. And you know, we have clear senses. We have these spiritual senses that we can interpret what the other person is feeling, especially if you have a good relationship with the other person. It just happens easier. Y'all start to speak each other's lingo. And this goes for the workplace too. You know, there's work lingo too. Just like radio talk, it's the same thing. Every place that you go has a different language, and it's up to you to learn that language to get, The last thing I have to say is I have a message for the people, the 144,000, the chosen. Now, I believe that the 144,000 is a riddle in itself, because when you look at gematria and numbers, every number is its own thing. So when I'm looking at 144000, I figured it out. The only reason why you have the 1,000 after the 144 is because of the crown chakra. All of the sacred geometry up to the third eye chakra, those 5 platonic solids equal 144 sides in total. So what makes it 1,000? The crown chakra. But what happens there? That's you and your spirit. Your spirit has its own chakras too, if you can understand it. It's literally the other side of you, the dark side of you. But dark is not evil. Dark is just a part of you. Like, this is your mind. You feel me? Your mind consists of everything, not just the brain. Like, it's not just the brain. Your brain is not everything. So this is the reason why I created this, so we can get to the pieces of the mind and what they're actually saying to you separately, right? That's what the alchemy comes involved. So this is the Zin-Finity Board. It is an elementally energetic grid that flows on a 21-part circuit, housing all aspects of the mind in a still life version. Anything that you can think of is here, and it's up to us to make it clear. This is a universal engine. It's a still life. It's a still life of an engine, though. The engine literally connects all the pieces of you, and now they're separate for me to breed. So somebody's breeding you. Now that sounds crazy, but these are seeds of doubt and deception and illusion that you're starting to believe, because, you know, repetition is where, you know, creates patterns. So yeah. And that brings me to the first part of the reading, which is Ayin. Now imagine, you can pause the video and write a who, what, when, where, or why question anywhere, and we're going to get to those aspects right now. This creates the setting and the scene for the perspectives in your mind so you can hash it out. So we got to get some of the elements down. The first one is who. Now, a win-win outcome is forecast. And the archetype for this, the one that came out, is the village. Now, well, that was quick. Move my fingers. Alright, so the village, everybody knows it takes a village to raise a child. You are always a child of God. Always. Are you older than God? Who created you? Okay, so you're always a child of God. So you always have that village around you, no matter what decision you made in your life. Now, where is it? There are some times that you need to be by yourself, but the only reason for that is because the people that are around you, well, the people that would be around you would plant those seeds. So I call them heartstrings, and that's with the mind. The mental space. There's the mental and the spiritual, right? The mental space holds on with your energy, things that you need or don't need, right? It's up to your will, though. You're consciously holding on to that. Your spirit is a magnetic and a repulsive force. Now, your spirit can be pushing this thing away from your grip, but it's up to you to recognize what your spirit is saying to you. This does not resonate. It's all clues, and your spirit speaks to you with the emotions that you feel inside before you express them, right? Sometimes it's better to keep it to yourself. That was who is with that person. But this village is coming up for you, so don't worry about it. They're going to be right there. As soon as you turn your back and then you turn back around, they go, oh, that's where they are. Okay, all I had to do was look back. Maybe that's what you believe. Looking back is the answer. It's not the answer, because going forward, looking back is basically holding your baggage, holding your luggage, lugging it. You got to look back to see what's keeping you, there's something stopping you from moving forward, and that's that luggage that you carry. And I always talk about luggage, how when you open it up, that clothes, you can wear that. Imagine you get a whole new wardrobe when you unpack your luggage. Imagine how good you look within yourself. So that luggage is important. Hash it out. Let me do who really quickly. See the other person through the eyes of love. It will change your perspective. It's time for you to make a firm decision. Time for you to focus on yourself for a while. Look after yourself, but avoid vanity. Now is a great time for a makeover. I just mentioned the wardrobe. That's the outfitting, but that was the inner fitting, right? See the other person through the eyes of love. Now, what is love? Love is movement, right? What can you do to get things going? Now, it could be going away from you so you can get going, meaning like you're not anchored in that place anymore. Something that would keep you, or that will push you forward, or something that will bring you guys back together, or bring you guys to a sense of understanding, to a sense that you can see each other's perspective, and the ability to see from another person's perspective is empathy. So have empathy and love so you can understand how to operate in that village that wants to come to you. That's the important part. It wants to come to you because you want it, right? So you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. This is what? Let someone get a bit closer to you. A new cycle is starting for your child or children. That's that rebirth moment. So there's tower energy coming up, but I didn't see the tower card. The tower is your highest perspective. You know how you can see very far from the highest point in the tower. Tower moments, the tower comes down. You can't see at this point in time because it's being because it's being rebuilt at the moment higher, so you can see farther. It's just a moment in time that you need to work on the inside, so it's better. The foundation needs to be worked on. That's a good time to reorganize what keeps you grounded. Meditation will help you banish your insecurities. Meditation is prayer. So you pray ER, right? You know how you go to the hospital, you pray ER. So you're attacking what's wrong. Prayer, right? Consciously attacking what's wrong or what's imbalanced. Prayer. Or a hunt, but whatever. So for what? It was the starborn. And you can understand the chosen that I was talking about already, the 144,000. The people who... What does it mean to be chosen? right? You chose to see the truth. You chose yourself. You are also God, and you also knew before you came down here what kind of life you could have, because this is the place of infinity. It's not like it's set in stone, because you're the author of your life, right? So you had more power than you understood before you came down, and it's offered to you now as you level up yourself. So yeah, the next energy is when looking at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius, right? The situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Care is the 8th general principle of the universe, care. But it's also compound interest in the physical world, right? Caring compounds your spiritual energy on itself or other people. But the same exchange happens. I heard that anytime that a person even sees, does, or is the person that is given like a good deed, right? If I hold the door for somebody, I get a good benefit, the person gets a good benefit, and anybody who sees it gets a good benefit. That's the power of just showing a little bit of love. So do it often, because that money is in a place that you don't understand that you're cashing in on that. Looking at the bigger picture, and that's the eternal child. Childlike energy is coming out. Your inner child is the face of yourself. When the self that you call myself, when you say I'm doing it for myself, I'm doing it for me, that's your inner child. But that's also your shadow too. But we don't have these words in the same place, so we all think it's different things. Inner child is the shadow as well as the id, right? So for where is hold your vision, the fixed moon, and this is the castle energy. Now the castle and the queen came out, so the missing energy is the king, and that's the one consciously holding onto things, or who can choose. See, that's correct. Or who can choose to not dominate, but to claim domain over their own life. So anything that you do is basically, you know how they say, your skills and your abilities increase your domain. So as you get better at what you do, you can do more things, and it's just a sense of the space in your heart. All right. So hold your vision, fixed moon, and this is where staying power, faith, patience is needed. Someone needs to back down. Avoid stagnation. A personal or professional relationship will be enduring. Stagnation is basically opposite love, because as I said, love is movement. And if you can't work out something in this area, move to something that does work for you. It doesn't matter if it's something that you have to let go or hold on to or grab onto, nurture, that kind of thing. So the most important question is why, and it's a personal issue reaches resolution. So resolution is basically an answer, right? Your mental space is a calculator, and you have been calculating things and looking for answers for so long, but these are separate problems that you're trying to solve at the same time. And focus, you can understand what that does. You can choose one problem to fix at a time. Even though that you have so many problems, fixing one at a time relieves the energy in your mind, less anxious, right? And now you can move on with more power, right? So, resolution. Meditate to soothe heightened emotions. Don't be clingy. Stop sulking. Have you had enough family time lately? Now, the family is within you as well as with outside of you, right? The family inside are your perspectives and every part of your mind, right? The family outside of you can understand is that village that we talked about. So this is what it's about right now. But this is why you are looking for that. You're looking for that family time. I think it's called cohesion or coherence or something like that. But basically union with the pieces of you allow the doors to open, and you grow and vibrate higher. As you vibrate higher, the magnetics for lower vibrations get pushed away naturally. So don't try to hold on to what's low vibrational. It's almost like you have to have a free fall going up also, right? And that's that hangman energy. The free fall is not just one direction. You can rise too. It's a free rise. I don't know. So the next part of the reading is Soph. And it goes like this. These are the perspectives in your mind. The perspectives are basically people in your mind, separate consciousnesses that talk to each other and get things done and fight and all this other stuff, right? So these are the perspectives. I be, I want, I need, I know, I will, I desire, I love, I do, and I think. That's the solar plexus, right? Doing and thinking. I feel, and then I am. So those are the people. We're going to talk about them right now, starting off with the first one, which is on suit. What does that mean? It's fire, air, water, earth, and these pieces have fire, air, water, earth that are designations. So when it's off, I turn them to the side and show you that it's off. But I also put a card down to get the right energy in. So in a sense, the energy comes down from the crown down to the root. And you have a full connection, right? So let's get connected. The first energy is I be. And this is the Seven of Swords. Alright, so deception, trickery, tactics, and strategy. Now, this is your being. You will be deceptive when it's time to be deceptive. Now, this is a double-edged sword because sometimes you need to deceive your enemies or withhold from your enemies too, you know, as well as some of your friends. So who around you do you tell things to that kind of put you down at the wrong time? It's almost like perfect timing to chain you to something that you didn't need to be chained to. I don't know. That is that energy right there of being. That's your being. So the next energy is I want. And it started off with the Nine of Cups that was off suit, and then it ended off with the Wheel of Fortune. So let's get it. So satisfaction, emotional stability, and luxury. Now this can't be over here because this is water in a place of earth and fire. Now water is emotion or feelings. Feelings does not build a tower. You understand? What water you know you can stand on? You can't. So even though it seems like it's something too good to go for, it's a fantasy. And your dream, because it's your spirit that knows the dream, the spirit is out of the 3, 6, and 9. Your consciousness is 3, the spirit is 6, and 9 is your superconscious, right? So your spirit is 6 compared to your I, the thing that you think you are, right? That's 3. That does not equate. It really doesn't. Like, your spirit is more powerful. So the dream that your spirit knows eats your fantasy. And you can understand where that goes. But it ended off with the Wheel of Fortune. You are fortunate because of that potential. Now, withholding also is in emotion too. Emotion is different from feelings. Feelings are expressed. Emotions are potentially expressed, right? So cycles change an inevitable fate. Now you are fated because of all of these failures. So fated because of these failures, and it almost seemed like it was unfair. Why stop you from going so far, even if it was a fantasy? Because there are mistakes that you can make that will stop your actual dream, the thing that you've been pushing your energy towards, which is stronger than your fantasy, right? It's like you are telling your divine mother, I want this, and no matter what, deny me from these things just so I can get that. Okay, that's your wish and your dream. So the next energy is I need, and it started off with the World, and then it went to the 3 of Wands reversed, and then the Fool energy. So let's see what the World says. This was off. Fulfillment, harmony, and completion. What's completed? Remember that resolution? The why? The why, the answer for your why is directly associated with what you need. And what you need is more important than what you want, right? That's obvious. But look, you need the energy of the World. You need fulfillment. You need to be okay with who you are and who you're becoming in order to bring the dream of becoming that person into the present time. All right. So then it went from there to the Three of Wands reversed, and it's obstacles, frustration, and delays. This is still the energy that's off. It's supposed to be water or air on this side, right? With fire, your ego, the negative part of your ego, right, is in control with these Three of Wands. And it's frustrating not knowing what you need because you have so much programming from fear that tells you what you want. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. The next energy that cleared it is the Fool. Now, the Fool is a very important energy, and I love this card. It's innocence, new beginnings, wonder, and foolishness. The new beginnings come when you are not afraid to take that first baby, tiny, small step into the direction that you knew you should have went in already. That's the Fool energy, because I'm gonna say this again, this was in my last reading. So in physics, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? And in many different fields and dimensions, you can use this same rule. So the energy of you wanting to start that dream, your dream is so powerful. That's the energy that you have to get past, because the negative part of it. Let me explain it. You want something positive in your life, right? So the devil can spit something negative to counter that positive energy that you're putting out in the universe. So it's already trying to get you to stop and do nothing, because stillness is not love, right? Well, not stillness. Stagnancy is not love. The devil wants you stagnant. So when you do something positive, something negative comes to stop you, and you have to challenge it and beat it. Once you do, you keep that space, and that's all for you because you're fitted for it, right? And this keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. So your dream, and this is why you need to fix your vision board. You need to understand what you need and what you're going after, to understand what stops you from getting there, getting to that place. Because nobody's going to tell you but your spirit, and your spirit is just like a hot, cold sensor to these things that you're doing. Hot, cold. Okay. At the end of the day, it's like yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. That's what it's saying. So the next energy is I know. Now, knowing is very important, and it started off with the Two of Cups. This is where the programming lied. It started off with the Two of Cups. Unity, partner, and connectionship. Oh, I said connectionship. So relationship. I wanted to say relationship right after. So this is the relationship with a person that you thought was fitted for you masterfully. I mean, everything, on the rating, the checklist, you had to create more pieces of that checklist because this person was so fitted for you as you thought, right? But you keep seeing the goodness in somebody. You actually create a fantasy over what they truly are. And then eventually you rewrite this image, but rewriting that image causes you to release what you thought they were in the first place. But once you release them, you have that energy, and it feels like you got to do something. Say if you're a guy and you just got out of a relationship, right? And those thoughts keep going yang, right? You're going to have to find somebody immediately, because that potential, those emotions that you gave to that person regularly, is like an addiction. It always is. It's a habit, pattern, addiction. You got something from it. Now you're not getting anything from it. Now you need to get it from somewhere else. It can come from a person, easy, but this person might not be fitted, just like the last person. So you can understand that. The same goes for the woman, but just in a different perspective. It's so easy to replace, and that's why it's hard to build. And then we went from there to the Ace of Cups. This is also offsuit, and this is new feelings, spirituality, and intuition. Now, your intuition was correct, but with one thing. Like I said, I believe we subscribe to these circumstances in our life before we come here. So this person was the biggest lesson that you chose, and you knew already. I knew when I was in my last thing, I completely knew that where it was going to go. I already had the idea, but my fantasy said, you know what? This can be better. So this is where you're wasting time. And your spirit is saying, no, 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 no. But the programming that the world gives you is, all you got to do is stick it out. So, yeah. The next energy is the 10 of Pentacles. And this energy is off too. This energy needs to be air or fire. So, the 10 of Pentacles, legacy, inheritance, and culmination. What you would have got with this person is unfathomable. You couldn't even describe how beautiful the image was to somebody else that you knew. Oh, with this person is going to be the best thing ever. I know it. God told me. You sure? And your friends be like, you sure? The next energy is the Page of Cups. Happy, surprise, dreamer, and sensitivity. Now, it's the sensitivity part. Being sensitive is not a crime. It's actually a gift, because sensitivity comes with feelings, and feelings are expressed from emotions, right? So you can understand what this person is feeling on the inside from what they express. So the sensitivity of the thing is reacting to it. That's the problem. Knowing it is like the lake of fire. That's truth. Truth is a lake of fire. So when it inhabits that falsehood in you, it burns it away completely. It's gone, and you have to give it up, because now you know the truth. So sensitivity is a gift, but it can't be taken as a curse, because now you know. And it's just horrible to know sometimes. Then what cleared it is the 7 of Wands. Perseverance, taking defense, and maintaining control. Control over what you do, so your habits and patterns. And I was just about to mention what you think and what you do in the solar plexus, and it's matching up with the 7 of Wands. So it's 7-7, and that's straight connected. Crazy. I didn't even realize it. The next energy is I will. So it started off with the Death card. Let's get it. End of cycle, change, and metamorphosis. I always call the Death card, if you look at it, it's a skeleton warrior. Skeletons don't have flesh. You can't cut them. You can break them, but if they're tough enough, that's that foundation. That's the root energy. Bone is in the root energy, right? So if they're rooted enough, if you are rooted enough, even if they think they're cutting you, they will never break you. It's about that foundation. The tower can come down, but that's the top. The foundation didn't break though. And went from there to the 10 of Cups. Inner happiness, fulfillment, and dreams coming true. Now, this is that fantasy again. Oh, you're willing to do anything for what? Oh, okay. The fear of what could happen and what you're going to be missing out on, according to your fantasy, is greater than your dreams manifestation energy or something like that. Yeah, fix that vision board. That vision board will autocorrect by default. Just doing it will give you the actual checkpoint in the right location. So this is why you feel like you can't save. And that's gamer talk, so you understand what I mean. Next energy was the Star. Hope, faith, and rejuvenation. So what are you rejuvenating with your mind? You're being less emotional because God is showing you things, and you're saying, oh, okay, I'm beginning to understand, but it's being given to you. The truth is being given to you. You can't even stop it. That's scary because you know what the truth does. I don't want to know the truth because it burns, right? And went from there to the Chariot. That's the Cancer energy, my energy. I love it. Direction, control, and willpower. But this is the wrong energy to have here. Your emotions are guiding you. Sorry, your feelings are guiding you. Well, it could be emotions too because it's potential. But imagine your spirit as the person holding the reins. So You are not the person in the chariot. You are the animals that's pulling it, right? You are the animals that's pulling it. And that's what you should understand. Your spirit has the reins, but you have the power to listen to where the direction is asking you to go. There's a cliff ahead, turn left. You're like, no, because I'm me. So the next energy is the Two of Pentacles. Balancing decision, priorities, and adapting to change. Now, adapting to change is literally being more magnetic and allowing the magnetism to be the guide. The things that are pushed away from you, repulsing, okay, God, I'm not gonna hold on to it. The things that are coming to you, ill, but okay, this is okay. I don't understand if I can do that or not, but okay, I'll try it. But all of these, that ill comes from your mind. Your programming says that this is an ill to you. So understand what's happening there. Your mind can speak by itself. Sorry, your mental space, it's its own entity. It's going to keep speaking to you. It's going to keep calculating for you. The next energy is I desire, and it started off with the King of Pentacles to the Three of Swords. Abundance, prosperity, and generosity. Now, prosperous. What you're doing is not working. This is an obvious thing to you now, and that's the truth, and it burns, but it burned good. Because what did it do? Anytime there's a forest fire, let me just say this right here. Anytime that there's a forest fire, there's new, easier inhabited land. Because there's not a lot of trees to get rid of. It's just stumps, right? Get this stump away, this stump away, this stump away. Just burn that, chop that up, and use it for the next thing, right? But it's easier because there's nothing left. Then they went to the Three of Swords. So I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Eight of Swords in the place of I love. So imprisonment, entrapment, and self-victimization. So the self-control. You have control over writing what you think is happening to you. As I said before, you knew as a soul before you came here what was possible. But you also know, because you've taken this journey, that things must happen because change is inevitable for you to reach your own dream. You are the one that's causing yourself to go through this because you want to get there. So, you know, how they say, stop hitting yourself. It's crazy how the universe works. But it's all in the process of learning, so it's okay. So the next energy is the Seven of Wands, and it matched up with what you know. So what you're thinking, what you're doing, will be matching up with the trueness of who you are, right? The Seven of Wands. Perseverance, taking defense, and maintaining control. Obviously, there's always an energy that you need to keep up to make sure that the old doesn't get back to you. There's always a vibration that you need to maintain in order to hold your blessings too. But God does not bless us with things that we can't keep. You feel me? These other things, of course, you will want to make sure that you can keep that thing that you've been dreaming of, right? So you must be fit. This is why all these lessons are happening. And this is why that person was brought into your life, for the lessons to happen quickly. Because how much do you know before and after? He's a completely different person. All that new knowledge, all that new, is the whole newness. You're a new person. You're not that old person in the middle of the drama. So the next energy is the I feel. And it started off with the Nine of Wands and it ended off with Temperance. Resilience, grit, and taking the last stand. And Temperance is the middle path, patience, and finding meaning. So the middle path is a magnetic rail. If you're magnetic, you're online on that rail. And it's like a monorail. So you understand there's a balance required in the system in general so you can actually move. You know? But your spirit is automatically attuned to that line. So refer to yourself more often to stay in line. So the next and the last energy is I am. It started off with the Nine of Swords, went from there to the Three of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Hermit card that finished it off. So let's see. The Nine of Swords, action, impulsiveness, and defending beliefs. Now, these beliefs are the old programming or the new ones. Which ones are you defending, right? The next is Three of Cups, friendship, community, and happiness. That old village, the reason why they were pushed away so fast, it almost seemed like it was so fast. The moment that you realized that you were alone, the moment that you realized that your new village is coming, that's the way to know that it's happening. Your new village is on the way. You're not without. It's on the way. Everything is replaced. We just don't see it, right? Because the universe works like this. Any action it has an equal and opposite reaction. As something is taken away from you, you already have that new thing that's fitted for you the next, right? You already have it. You just can't see it. And from there to the Nine of Cups, and satisfaction, emotional stability, and luxury. Now you're beginning to see it, but you're also emotional, and that's leading you in a state of fear. But Hermit card, the Hermit card, you have to concentrate on yourself. You have to look at your own light and what it can do in the depths of your own self. Not being afraid to go within yourself to navigate. You understand? It doesn't have to be that one little light or the hermit that guides you. Who says that you can't build in that tunnel? Who says that you can't build in, like, who says that cave? Who says you can't build in there? Oh, put some lights up, put a campfire, do this, do that. It's possible. So that's basically not being afraid of who you are. I'll nest in it. I'll nurture this space because I know that if I go further, I find gems. And these gems nurture my kingdom, my temple. So yeah, that was Soph. The next part of the reading is Or. So let's get these cards out real quick. So basically this is experimentation, expression, integration, transcendence, and ascendance. Ascending is basically evolving. Transcending is leveling up, right? Pokemon, level up, evolve, different things. So let's get the first one, which is trust on expression, protection on, trust on experimentation, protection on expression, relief on integration, affluence on transcendence, and lastly we have the full moon on evolution, basically ascendance. Now let's get these cards out really quickly. I just want to get this out. So the experimentation is talking about this nightingale. I don't know much about them, but birds sing. This bird is singing at night. That's what's coming to me right now. So if I'm off, I'm off, but whatever. This nightingale is singing at night. Singing is a beautiful energy. That's more like, you know, people sing to feel free. I go to karaoke and I sing to feel free. So feeling free with yourself. You're free to do what you need to do. And this involves trust, a feeling of trust. Now, the next energy in expression is protection. Now, this is the first card in the deck. So first things first, you need to protect how you feel, or you need to protect your spirit from being attacked by people who can judge. The people who judge are literally programming you, because they say that this is this and you believe this. Is it the truth? Who's telling what? You know, you understand? You have to take everything with a grain of salt, but actually look at what you're ingesting. The next energy is relief and integration. These are your habits and your patterns. And the cosmic egg came up. And your feeling was the rabbit. You can understand how much they reproduce, right? You need to reproduce this energy of protection. Oh, I'll protect this, I'll protect this, I'll protect this. But it's protecting the self image that you have, but the true one. Relief comes when the new patterns provide the space. That's what that is. And it's a cosmic blessing. Funny thing about blessing, be less. That's not what we're here to do. Find a different word that brings more power to the present time, because you are not less. You understand? I was tripped up when I heard that, but I had to understand. It burned me. I said, okay, I'm blessed. I used to say I'm blessed all the time. So many people said that they're blessed. But what happens if you are the magician, your tongue is the wand, and you're saying to yourself, I am less? It's not true. But you're also holding yourself back and telling these forces that I am vibrating lower. Cosmic egg, you are a cosmic divine being. You are unlimited force. Nothing can hold that back but the mind of that force. The next energy is the sea serpent. So Ouroboros, right? But it's talking about the serpent part of it, and it's this eye in the middle. Ouroboros is the snake that biting his own tail, but it also talks about the time loop, the cycles, and affluence, something that grounds you. This is the big old pinnacle. Affluence is gonna get you the blessings that you, it's all energy. It's all energy and light, you know? Because if you ran into the science and understanding, if you zoom down as deep as you can go, you get to quantum physics, and there's nothing but light over there. That's light talk. That's a different light talk, but yeah. The next and last energy is ascendance, and this is how you level up. So the wolf came out with the full moon. Talk about union. Talk about natural. What's natural to you? Why do they howl? Look it up. There's probably many reasons. If you had wolves on your timeline or on your feed, maybe this is for you. If you like wolves, what makes them special for you when it talks about your knowing? If you're talking about an alpha wolf leads from the back. They make sure that the back is protected from the pack because they have the most experience. They know where they're going because they've been there already, and they know what dangers are lurking, and they know where to look for the danger. So you leave it up to your next in line, the people that's under you, to lead, but you get their back as the alpha. So if you are the alpha in your life, how are you protecting your tribe? That's the tribe on the inside. Alright. So that was the reading. And it's 7:21 on the clock. And that's my birthday. So I find that very funny. Alright. That was a good reading. I was surprised at some of the things that popped up, because scenarios are not my strong suit, but scenarios were coming out. I'm more of an alchemist. I'm going to talk about the energy, where it's going on this board. But yeah, if you liked it, give a shout out. You know, shout this out to your favorite reader, because my position is where they're going to be once I get this app out and once I get everything started. But this is basically a tool for them to speak to you super clear. Literally 10 times as clearer as they are now, because it's talking about all the chakras and how they line up and all the perspectives and all the pieces in your mind and how they operate with each other. That's the beauty of this board. And that's one of the reasons I'm creating this. So as I said before, if you like it, like the reading, if it impacted you in a way that you feel like saying something about it, let's go, because I would love to hear what you have to say. If I can make this reading a little bit clearer, or if you would like a reading, my email is in the description below. And that's pretty much it. So with all that said and done, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm Kai-Fi. Peace.